Hello, you guys. Dr. Melanie Carlone here, and today I want to bring you on a little journey. I want to bring to you just the essence of an experience I've just been through, and to create that connection between nature and your own body. So, have you ever noticed how your body softens when you're in the forest? Like, just imagine the light coming through the trees, the sound of the birds, your feet on soft ground as you're walking through a path. And even in the imagining, just notice. Notice that your breath probably deepens, your shoulders drop. You don't even need to think about it. And your mind becomes quiet because it's more present to the here and now and your surroundings. And you didn't try. So I just got back from an unbelievable journey into the inner Amazon with the Achuar tribal people, which was the trip of a lifetime. I've been planning it over a year, and it's definitely a very privileged, amazing thing to do, and none of it was lost on me. And I want to show you an image of that experience. After we got there, we were invited by our tribal guide to be blessed by the Apu, by the grandfather, to welcome us into the experience we were about to have. And I want to show you the grandfather. Just think about that. Trees that are still that big and that are paid attention to, that are stewarded by people. And that when there's concerns or worries in someone's mind, they go to the grandfather. At the base here are these ceramic bowls of offerings that they go with tobacco, which is so interesting, right? It's what indigenous people on this continent do, bring tobacco as an offering, and then they slow down to listen to what the grandfather might bring to their concern or their worry. Isn't that amazing? I just feel it again, and I hope that maybe right now in this moment you can feel it. So what if that nature isn't just calming? What if it's actually a reminder about how your nervous system operates? A reminder about how we actually regulate. We're designed to regulate. And what if you could access that same shift that you feel even when you're not in Ecuador, you're not in the rainforest, you're not on vacation, but you're in the middle of a Tuesday afternoon? So today I want to talk about how a deep reconnection with nature, with yourself, and with your community, using some small somatic practices, can help bring you back to center. Not by force, but by safety, by your intention. So I'm Dr. Melanie Carlone. I've been in clinical rehabilitation practice for, over 40 years. I got my master's and then my doctorate in physical therapy, so I'm kind of a fool for punishment. But I love learning. I'm a double 200-hour yoga instructor, a somatic therapist, and deep at heart, a nervous system educator. And I work with people with chronic pain and fatigue and overloading of the system, bracing, trauma history, and the inflammation and stress that comes with all that. Often people I work with have been unseen or even kind of damaged by conventional care. The current medical system is awesome for direct trauma, but it's really not good for chronic issues. So today I want to unpack something deeper than just stress reduction. I want to talk about regulation through conscious relationship with your body, relationship with nature, and relationship with your community, and how small, just really simple practices can help gently shift your physiology, and with practice start to become the new normal of being less stressed or unstressed. So many of us just feel stuck. We're kind of stuck in bracing all the time, waiting for the next thing, or we're stuck in shutdown. We're stuck in chronic inflammation where one thing just sets off a whole cascade of events and everything hurts. We're stuck in hypervigilance, waiting for the next thing to occur. And here's the truth. You're not broken. Your nervous system has ever and always been protecting you, but it is a primitive, developed over millennia system that is oriented towards triggers and things in the environment that nowadays don't shut off. You know, it's kind of like we're running from a lion that's always there, but there's no lion. And when you're under chronic stress, the feeling of the lion in your world on your tail, your system recalibrates itself to deal with that. Your visual field narrows. Breath rises to be breathed up here instead of down low. Your muscles are in a situation of bracing. And really importantly, because of the hormones that get released in preparation for the lion, your inflammation increases. Your sensitization to stuff sets you off. And it's all adaptive. It's adapting to the lion that isn't there. The problem isn't that your system's responding that way. The problem is that it didn't get the message to get back to safety, that it could shift back. So what restores that shift? Safety signals, somatic, body felt safety signals. And nature is full of them. Notice how your eyes soften in a wide landscape and you're paying attention around you. Everything shifts from an inner to a soft outer focus. Let's try that. It's small. I want you to keep your head still and slowly let your eyes drift. Let them drift over to the side, and not hard. You don't need to have any kind of muscle tension when you do this. Just let your eyes drift to one side. Not sharp, you're not scanning. Just softly notice what your eyes land on. Bring in the color and the shape of that object, how much light there is, how much depth. Stay with it a few breaths. And with your eyes over to the side, now slowly let your head follow your eyes until your nose and your eyes are lined up. Not quickly. Let the movement be curious, exploratory. And now from that place, let your eyes drift to another area. Take in all the sensory information about it. And then slowly, breathing softly, let your head move. Your midbrain's kind of saying, I'm choosing to look at that. You're occupying a very different part of the brain than the vigilant part. And that voluntary orienting to the environment response signals safety to your nervous system. It tells the vagus nerve that it's time to actually move about in a way that you can hear and see what's peripheral to you in your awareness. So when you expand your peripheral awareness, you start to notice that the defense mechanisms soften. That narrowing widens. And the body can begin to shift from threat detection awareness to engaging the environment. So just notice. Did you notice anything soften? Sometimes it's very subtle if you're really upregulated, but it's amazing. Because when stress accumulates, what we call allostatic load, the system of your body prioritizes survival efficiency. It narrows your input, it gets your energy into your core or into your peripheral muscles, it braces, it's ready for action. And your peripheral visual field completely narrows in hypervigilance scanning. But when you consciously take yourself into widening awareness into the periphery, it's very different neural pathways than that hypervigilant pathway. It activates the midbrain, those midbrain orienting circuits, what you're paying attention to. And it supports the part of your vagal regulation, that vagus nerve, that wandering nerve, that's either fight or flight, rest or relax. It supports the front or the ventral part of it. It improves your autonomic nervous system's flexibility. So in simple terms, when you let your eyes widen gently, you let your eyes orient to the side, and you take in information, the world feels less dangerous. And when you're out in nature the next time, pay attention to this, because nature does this for us automatically. We get a wider horizon. There's fractal patterns that you start to see. There's gentle movement of light and air and leaves. It's unpredictable, but it's non-threatening, and it softens our internal system. So that rainforest, that incredible experience of being in this wide, old, energetic field, regulates without demanding anything in return. And what would change if your body experienced a more non-threatening way of being? All right, let's add another one. Low back rib breathing. Okay, breathing into the low back. This is how a baby breathes when the world is safe, when there's no worries. It's not belly breathing. We hear a lot about diaphragmatic breathing, but your diaphragm runs all the way around your rib cage. So it's not the belly, it's the low back. So place one hand on your low back ribs, or your thumbs. I always do it like this. And inhale gently into the back of your body, imagining your kidneys widening, your hands moving apart and backwards, and then slow your exhale to be longer than the inhale. Okay, simple thing. Low back rib, longer exhale. So that diaphragm, that web of muscle that lies between your lungs and the rest of your belly contents, attaches all the way along the lower ribs. And when you breathe in the back, it increases the whole diaphragm movement. And that signals, again, that ventral vagus nerve signals through that to your brainstem, hey, I'm not under attack, I'm cool. Breathing up here, there's a lion on your tail. Breathing there, totally different response. So many trauma survivors, or maybe you've noticed yourself, if you've ever had an anxiety attack, that you're over breathing into the chest and the upper chest. Consciously reclaiming the back body restores a different dimension. So just take 3 slow, low back rib breaths here. And notice the difference as you're breathing between front body effort and back body expansion. It's subtle perhaps, but it's powerful. The body noticing within itself that it's safe. All right, let's widen the lens a little further, right? Internally regulating, nature regulating, but guess what? Safe community, the people around you, being seen and seeing others, people that are actually feeling each other, causes us to co-regulate. I see you seeing me. It's a two-way street. Thomas Hubel, one of my favorite teachers, talks about the third space that gets created when you're in community that cares. It's a relational field between people. And when bodies start to resonate together, stress de-escalates. It activates, you got it, again, the ventral part of the vagal nerve system. And when stress de-escalates, inflammation decreases, pain decreases. And when inflammation decreases, true healing then becomes possible. You're not fighting to try to overcome inflammation. You've toned down inflammation, and now actual healing can occur. And this is not just spiritual fluff. It is neurobiology. Because your system evolved in nature, in relationship to the rhythms of the earth, in kinship with others, in land-based rhythms, not the frickin' clock. Disconnection increases when we're driven away from ourselves, from each other. We're on the clock, we're pushing to make a buck, to make a life, to get the thing, to da-da-da. What happens in your body when you're around people who are co-regulating and genuinely seeing each other? So let's just do a little journey into that. Put one hand over your mid-heart, one hand on your belly, right under your rib cage. Breathing into the low back, let your breath slow on the exhale, and imagine someone who feels really safe and loving for you. Not perfect, Maybe you've had old stuff, doesn't matter. This person loves you. And feel the steadiness of that. Let your body respond to the image that you hold of that person. Notice your jaw soften, your throat. It's not neural rehearsal. It's allowing your brain to actually respond to relational imagery, what you're seeing inside, because community lives in us. Sure, you see me, and if you're here, I'm seeing you, but it's actually the me inside of me that's seeing you. I can't actually have you in me. I have to be the one to see you. So you can create the internal states that allow community safeness and presence to another to grow. It also brings discernment about the ones who aren't safe and aren't good for you. And with care and self-care, you can let that go. You have choice, almost always, about who you let into your world and what you do with that. And if you don't, you always have choice about how you're going to respond. So I hope you felt a little travel with me to the Amazon. And, we gathered there, restoring a sense of the diversity of this planet, the connection of nature, uneven ground, the unbelievable bird song, sharing meals. We did medicine ceremony. All of that expanded this remembrance of being aware of the wholeness, of how community restores that relational safety, and really deeply recognize we're in kinship. The earth is not an object. These are not just things to be absorbed and mastered. These are relationships. When you walk barefoot on soil, you're not biohacking. You're remembering who you are and how you're designed, and that regulates you. Your nervous system evolved in relationship with the land. When was the last time your body felt like it belonged to a place? So pause for a moment. You did these gentle eye movements to the side. What shifted? Try it again. Notice what you feel. Did your breath deepen when you brought it to awareness of the back of the body? I would love to know how this lands for you, so comment and let me know. If this kind of embodied education supports you, subscribe. Let me keep being the one to bring this and to pay my attention here. Not for algorithms, but for your own well-being. You are not broken. You are adapted. Chronic pain, fatigue, all the bracing and shutdown, these are protective responses. And there are things we can do together to widen the lens around nature and our place in it, around our internal system, around the community that we choose and what we're up to. Just small somatic practices that restore your awareness of choice. Regulation first, change comes second. So subscribe, share this with someone who feels disconnected from their body. Maybe it'll touch a place you don't even know and make a difference, because I think that's how this works. So remember, regulate before you renovate, safety first, change second, and know you are not broken. You are deeply protected, and the world is conspiring for your well-being. Let's tune into that more. Blessings, you guys.